Hi Randy, how you doing? I've got your symmetry exercise up right here. Okay, now I see you've submitted this as an Adobe Illustrator file, but don't forget the submission requirements indicate to submit the work as a JPEG, so keep that in mind. All right, so you've got formal symmetry, right? So the left-hand side of the composition is a mirror image of the right-hand side of the composition. The only thing I have to say, though, is that the composition itself is not that, it's not very interesting visually. I mean, we have two rectangles and then, we have basically got two black rectangles and then space between, and then two rounded rectangles facing the other direction. So it is symmetry, yes, but it's not, doesn't have a whole lot of variety. There's no dilation, so there's no changing the shapes, changing the size of the shapes. There's no translation, meaning that you're changing the position of the shapes, except for this little translation right here and from here to here. And then there is reflection, but there's no rotation. So we see the shape transformation of dilation, translation, reflection, and rotation. And we could add those as well as adding a little bit of visual variety by maybe adding another shape or two. So let me show you what I've done here, and you could very easily do this with this composition. And I want you to think about this. So to try to make these changes based on dilation, this is all in your reading too: dilation, translation, reflection, and rotation. So let me jump over to the composition that I've created out of yours. All right, and you can see this has got a little bit more visual interest. There's more going on. There's more to consume the viewer's attention than this. I mean, this we kind of look at, we got it, okay, got it quickly, and we move on. Here, there's more to gather the attention of the viewer. There's more to think about while looking at this composition. So it's automatically a more interesting composition. And one of the reasons is because we've used dilation, we've used translation, we've used reflection, and we've used rotation. Let me describe each. Dilation is changing the size of a shape. So I've just taken this shape right here and just changed the size, and here it is right here, okay? So that's dilation. We've got translation, changing the position of a shape. So here's the original, then here's the change in position, right? Then we have reflection. Of course, reflection is part of any symmetrical composition. And then we have rotation, where I've taken these shapes, okay, and they've been rotated over here. All right, then we've added a little bit of visual interest right here. As a matter of fact, we could take those and actually do this to add a little bit more visual interest there, and as well as some variety in the. Okay, so as you can see, so we've got these different elements creating this illusion. I'm sorry, this depiction of symmetry. However, it's just a little more interesting because we've used a wider variety of shapes and a wider variety of positioning of those shapes to make for a more interesting composition. I mean, you could theoretically take this even further by even, let's say you could take that, you could reduce the size of that, place it right here, and then so think about how you might make some of these changes. There we go. Okay, so think of how you might make some of these changes. And you could use circles in here or squares or any other shapes at all that you want to add variety. But mainly what I'm saying is I think that you just need a little more variety and also employ the dilation, translation, reflection, and rotation. Okay, so those, I'd like to see some sort of variational changes like this in your final. All right, thank you very much. Good job.